Hey friend, are you ready to change your habits around food? Then you are going to love today's video. Today we're talking about one of my favorite keys to success when you're changing your diet in any way, especially if you're following intermittent fasting. So we're going to be talking about mindset and behaviors around food, and we're going to talk about mindful eating, the importance of it, and the science-backed reasons why it works. Plus, I also have a handy worksheet to help you uncover any habits that you might have around food, habits that you might not even be aware of. So we've got a lot to get through, so let's get into it. Hey friend, so now that you've started your journey for intermittent fasting, I'm sure you've noticed that the quantity of food, or at least the number of times you eat each day, has been reduced. This is a perfect time to practice eating mindfully and make the meals that you do have and the food that you do eat really count. And today's lesson is all about mindset and eating mindfully while intermittent fasting. When you eat mindfully, you notice and enjoy the foods you put into your body and make sure your nutritional choices support the hard work your body is doing during a fast. It's super important to include mindfulness into your meals, no matter what meal plan, dietary guidelines, or rules you're already following. In this lesson, you'll learn why being mindful of how you're nourishing your body can help you stick to your intermittent fasting goals, be more successful, and optimize your results. You'll learn how to shift your mindset and add mindful behaviors at every meal. Plus, we'll discuss what the science says about mindset, and I'll give you ideas that you can use to get started today. So why mindful eating? Eating mindfully helps prevent overeating, and it prevents that overly stuffed feeling we often get at the end of a meal. It allows you time to get in tune with your body and become more aware of both physical hunger and fullness cues, those satiety cues. This helps guide your decisions to begin and end eating. Mindfulness also helps you notice and appreciate and enjoy the foods you eat with every bite. This can increase feelings of satisfaction when your meal ends. So let's get into the mindset piece of eating. Most of us have a lot of habits or predictable patterns when it comes to eating, when we make our food choices or even when we prepare our meals. We've been eating our entire lives, so there are bound to be some patterns and predictable behaviors there. So one of the first steps for an improved mindset around food is to acknowledge those buried or hidden patterns. When you get the urge to eat, try to identify what might be under or attached to that need to eat. You can do this through a series of questions. Ask yourself, am I truly hungry? Or do I want to eat this food just because it's there? Is this a craving? And will it pass if I don't indulge or give into it? Is this a conditioned or mindless habit? Maybe you always start the day with an iced coffee and a muffin because you stop at the coffee shop and it's just so convenient. Or maybe you always have dessert every night to signal the end of your meal. Ask yourself, am I feeding my feelings or my hunger? And instead of dealing with discomfort, do you turn to food or alcohol to self-soothe? Ask yourself, how's your stress level? Increased stress can definitely cause increased cravings and hunger. And lastly, do a hormonal check-in. Especially for women, hormones fluctuate throughout the month, and at certain times you might be more prone to craving sweets or even salty snacks. So none of these questions are meant to make you feel bad, but they're just questions to help you reflect on what might be going on. So if you feel the need to eat and you can't pinpoint why, consider asking yourself a few more questions. When's the last time you ate? Could it be possible you're still digesting food and not really hungry? Are you well hydrated? Are your electrolytes optimized? Will this food nourish my body? Does this support my wellness goals? And is there a better or healthier choice I can make? So again, this is just information and questions to help provide insight about any eating patterns or thought processes you might have. So now what do you do with that information? So first, you can see if you can identify triggers or cues that are at the root of your relationship with food. We're just trying to understand the link between the two. No need for guilt or shaming. So maybe those bakery smells that led to a croissant purchase reminded you of a trip to Paris. Or maybe smelling a cookout makes you think of a barbecue and you start craving that. The snacks in the office might lead to mindless eating just because they're there. Or if you're zoned out watching Netflix, the bag of chips you're snacking on just miraculously disappeared. Maybe you were even raised with parents that made you eat everything on your plate, even if you were already full. There are so many things going on when we decide to eat, and many emotions and feelings are involved. We hardly ever stop to acknowledge what might be going on subconsciously or what habits we have that carried over for years and may no longer be serving us. Knowledge is power, and this is an area where we can all do a bit more personal reflection. I've included a PDF worksheet to help you examine any links between food and feelings if you want to explore this issue a bit further. It's a series of questions and thoughts to help you think through your own unique eating habits. You can find that download where you're watching this video. Once you've identified a pattern or behavior or even a link, see if you can reframe it. If you're hungry, you should absolutely eat. But taking the time to think through the process and what's really behind those urges can be very telling. Maybe that croissant smell can make you think of that European trip and all the happy memories, but you don't necessarily need to eat it if you're not actually hungry. So now that we've identified patterns and triggers in your mindset, let's focus on how to be more mindful at mealtime. Let's go through a few great ways to be more mindful and eat thoughtfully and slowly. All right, number 1, savor the process. Cook your own meals. Savor the ritual of chopping, sautéing, combining the ingredients as you prepare the food. Number 2, optimize the atmosphere. Ensure you're sitting down when you eat. A good habit is to properly plate what you're about to eat to avoid snacking directly from the bag or the box. Try to eat in a relaxing environment if possible, minimizing noise or excess stimulation, and try to avoid distractions like using your phone or watching TV when you eat. If you have children or things in your home are a bit chaotic, just try to focus on your meal every few moments to enjoy and savor the flavors as much as possible. Consider changing something in your eating environment, whether it's choosing different dishes, using fancy placemats, or even switching to cloth napkins. You can also change the centerpiece, like adding some fresh flowers or even lighting a candle. Number 3, engage your senses. Take a few deep breaths before you eat. Think about how this food will nourish your body and support your health goals. Spend time focusing intently on your food and engaging all of your senses when you do eat. This can help you slow down and enjoy your meal. Which brings us to number 4, slow down and enjoy. Take time to tune into your body. How are your taste buds responding to the meal? What flavors and textures do you notice? Are there hints of spices you can pick out from the dish? Don't forget to pause and hydrate while you're eating. Every few bites should be followed by a sip of water to help with digestion, keep your taste buds fresh, and keep you hydrated. It's also a great way to tune into how full you might be feeling. Occasionally put down your silverware during your meal. This gives your body a pause from all the intake and can allow you to tune into how you're feeling mid-meal. All right, practice, practice, practice. So you don't have to do each of these things with every meal, and you honestly may not have time for all of it, but practice a few of these tips with each meal and you'll be well on your way to eating more mindfully. So what does the science say about the mindset and mindful eating? So mindful eating has been shown to be helpful with stress reduction, and learning how to change thinking patterns or behaviors related to food later causes less anxiety and less stress around mealtimes. Mindfulness decreases the frequency of binge eating and also decreases the chances of emotionally triggered snacking. Mindfulness-based interventions decrease these types of eating episodes because they help us change or replace our unhelpful thinking patterns and behaviors. Mindfulness can help us reduce impulses to eat based on external cues or stimuli. So that means any eating that's triggered by external cues such as appealing food packaging or appealing smells, the sights, or even advertisements. Mindfulness can help you fight that burger craving after you've seen an ad for a juicy fast food burger. Mindfulness also helps with long-term weight management, and studies have shown that people who follow a mindfulness approach to eating are better able to lower their weight and maintain it over the long term. So now it's your turn to take action. Start implementing the mindfulness habits that you have at your next meal. Use the reflection questions to help identify habits and patterns in your eating behaviors. Keep track of any links you uncover between food and feelings or food and emotions. Be sure to share your progress and mindfulness discoveries with us.
All right, friends, so there you have it, my favorite keys to success and how to start changing your mindset around food. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to download your free PDF down below all about food and feelings. Help discover those messages you might be telling yourself or those, connections you might be making between food and eating and feelings and really get to the bottom of it and root cause so you can start crushing your goals. As always, thank you so very much for watching. If you like my content, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you know anyone that would benefit from this information, please share my video with them. I would really appreciate it. Until next time, have an amazing day.